The 2024 NBA season has officially ended as the Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 4-1 in the NBA Finals, which finally means teams can talk with some players that are going in free agency that played for them last season, such as, a guy like Gordon Hayward. He could talk with the Thunder, but it's not what we're going to talk about because we know he's not coming back. That's a thing that is for sure not going to happen. Gordon Hayward will not re-sign with the Thunder. But there are a few guys that have already talked with teams, and reports have circulated that they're not happy, especially one player who's going to be at the top of this year's free agency class, as he had a lot to prove this season when he was traded to the Knicks, and he could make a ton of money with his next contract. But before we get all into this, though, I want to take a moment and say, if you guys want to chat with some more guys from the Thunder Digest community here, just go ahead, join our Discord channel. It's in our channel bio, and also I can drop it down in the comment section once this video is dropped. And so that way, if you guys want to talk with more people, talk with me, get live updates when a video comes out, or just random stuff going on in the league, or fans from other teams as well, go ahead, join the Discord channel. With that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get into the video and talk about this guy who I think is a huge instant impact player no matter what. He's entering the prime of his career. He had a great season when he was in Toronto to start off and then in New York. The only question is, are injury concerns? He is a guy that gets injured from time to time, and so that's where some teams are lenient on signing him, and you probably won't see a ton of title contenders going after them because these teams already have a star. You're going to see teams that are trying to rebuild and about to enter this phase for where, after a year or two, they'll finally try to compete for a championship. But we're talking about OG Anunoby, who is a great player. And this recent report by the Dunk Central here, you can see here, OG Anunoby is not thrilled with the Knicks' current offer and will test the free agent market per Windhorst ESPN. So Brian and Windhorst had this. Let's keep an eye on that. Most people believe Anunoby will stay with New York, but there have been indications he may want to test the market because he's not thrilled with what the Knicks are offering. And the Knicks have a lot of options, options and decisions to make in free agency this season with some of their guys. You have two big-name guys going out there right now in OG and also Isaiah Hartenstein. Hartenstein, who had a career year at the Knicks, along with OG Anunoby. And this article that I found from Sports Illustrated that kind of depicts what kind of value he brings to this Knicks team really sums up what kind of player he is. And so we'll go ahead and get into this article now with the first thing that we have here from Sports Illustrated. This is from Jeremy Brenner. Anunoby could be a target for teams that have a ton of cap space, but may not have the star power currently on the roster. Anunoby could be a building block for a team looking to take a step in the right direction, like the Utah Jazz or Detroit Pistons. So as I mentioned there, a team that's looking to finally actually compete after the next season or two. So teams like Utah and, Detroit might be going after him. But I could also see our very own Thunder going after him as well, with the scenarios going on with we're not sure what the future looks like with guys like Josh Giddey, even Jalen Williams, depending on contract situations. And so we might already be looking towards the future a little bit to find someone that can eventually come in and replace him. We can even have a situation where we trade Giddey and sign Anunoby to free up some more cap space, but we'll keep on reading this article here. Both of those teams have a decent amount of cap space that could get them to sign Anunoby. New York went 20-3 during the regular season when Anunoby was on the floor, so he makes a massive difference to the team overall. Losing him would force the Knicks to pivot in a big way, and they don't want to do that after having their best season in over a decade. So go to the next part of the article here. The Athletic's Fred Katz has reported that Anunoby is seeking a contract that's around $35 to $40 million annually. The Knicks have reason to be concerned with that number, especially considering how many games he missed due to injury. But New York also has to realize how valuable he is when he's on the court, and that will likely drive their desire in these negotiations. And so that was the article by Sports Illustrated by Jeremy Brenner there, talking about the situation going on with OG Anunoby, and he's a great player. I would love him on the Thunder. It just comes down to where is he meshed on the team? What does he actually bring? And does he fill all these holes and necessities that we kind of need with this squad? That's the big concern. Is he necessarily the best option for our team with what we need to fill? I don't think he is, per se. He's definitely a big name, and he would have a ton of success in Oklahoma City. Sorry, I struggle talking sometimes. I just ramble on and words get mixed up there. But I do think we would have success with him. He would bring a lot to the team. He's a great offensive player. When he's on the court, when he's healthy, he is great, and he brings that impact that you see with the Knicks. As you saw there, 20-3 when he was on the court with New York. One of the main reasons they had that little playoff push and eventually, ended up with the 2 seed there. OG Anunoby was that reason. When you pair him with Jalen Brunson, it helps it a ton. But when I'm talking about my New York guys here, who would I rather have? Isaiah Hartenstein or OG Anunoby? That's what it comes down to. And looking at OG Anunoby's stats, he has good stats here when you can see, 14.7 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, 2 assists, almost a block games, 1.4 steals per game, 1.6 turnovers, 2.4 fouls, 48% from the field, pretty much 49 there, then 38% from behind the arc. He's 6'7", so decent size. He's 26 years old, so still young, entering the prime of his career, about to be 27. And some, little statistics from the three-point line, which, we love to shoot our 3 balls. We're the best three-point shooting team in the regular season. He shot 45% on corner threes. 96% of his threes are assisted, and 46% of all shots are three-pointers. He's, averaging just about 15 points a game, so he's a good player overall. And he wasn't even the first or second option in New York. He was the third option, getting 15 a game. It's just, when I look at it, when I'm comparing him, when I'm looking at these stats that I have up right here, when I'm looking at those, comparing to what Isaiah Hartenstein could bring this team, I feel like Hartenstein is the better option out of these 2 New York guys, because it's that glaring rebound number right there at 4.2 a game. That is what concerns me. We weren't a great rebounding team by any means, and we're not losing any of our key offensive players or shooters on this team. Isaiah Joe, who shot, I believe, 45% from behind the arc this year, our best three-point shooter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been developing that three-point shot where he actually pulls up and shoots those 3 balls. J-Dub's a great three-point shooter now, where he kind of struggled with it his first year. He's doing well now. Chet Holmgren, trying to learn to be more of a catch-and-shoot guy and get the release off quicker when the videos that we've seen him training. He's going to be a great three-point shooter. Dort, he's just on or off some nights. Some nights he'll have a game where he goes 6 of 6 behind the three-point line. Some other games he'll go 2 of 10. He's a very on or off guy. And so we have shooters. So that's not really my concern. It's the rebounding wise. I know that's all your guys' concerns too as Thunder fans. What you guys saw from this team in the playoffs, even in the regular season. We didn't have rebounding. So when it comes down to these 2 New York guys, I'd rather have Hartenstein sign him because he'd only want like a 2-year, $20 to $25 million deal, where OG is going to want 3 to 4 years for a large amount, $35 million on the low end, which we can provide. That takes up all our cap space, though. Doesn't allow us to go sign anyone else in free agency. So, yes, it would be great. He is a great player. He is a rising star in this league. He has a ton of potential. He can be so good as a second option or even a first option on some of these teams like Utah or Detroit. I just think out of those 2 New York guys, Hartenstein is the right option there. We need to focus on a big man because I feel like there are forwards we can get in the draft, like we talked about with Cody Williams yesterday. We can go get Cody Williams in the draft. We can do that. And then what we can do next is, we sign a big man. Hartenstein, Nicholas Claxton, Jonas Valanciunas. Even sign backup big men, such as Andre Drummond, who's not going to, demand a large deal. Probably $5 million at the high end because he's out of his prime. However, he provides mentorship and a big body coming off the bench if Hartenstein ever starts for our team. It allows some, security and backup bigs that we really desperately need because we don't have any at the moment. So yes, OG Anunoby, great player. Not knocking him down at all. I just feel like with the 2 options that we have here, OG Anunoby or Hartenstein, which Nick would we rather want? I feel like Hartenstein is the right answer there. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like that would put us in a better position to actually win a championship, adding that size to the team. However, OG Anunoby, I know he's going to get a bag. He's going to get a $35 million 4-year, 4-year, $35 million per year deal somewhere, such as I could see it like Utah, potentially trying to trade out Laurie as well, because, or maybe they try to, extend Laurie and have those guys for years to come, and Laurie doesn't go anywhere and we don't trade for him. But I do think OG Anunoby, wherever he signs, is going to open up the door for when all these other players in free agency start going there. I feel like he is the key part where it kind of signals, okay, who is going after everyone here? Once he's signed somewhere, I feel like you're going to see everyone else sign somewhere, and then the next day, we would get Hartenstein on the team. I feel like that's what's going to happen. And so even though we're not going to go after him, he is going to be this guy that opens the door and lets free agency just go all over the place and kickstart here. but I do believe Hartenstein is the right option over Anunoby. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section as well down below. Would you rather have Anunoby on the team or Hartenstein? Because personally, like I've been repeating this here, dead record, scratch record here, just repeating over and over. Hartenstein is the right option. I feel like that is who we should go after out of those two Knicks players. But let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.